Hey YouTube, it's your girl Trina Love back with another video. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you doing, my busy bees? Staying busy, I hope. Always keeping it sexy. You better. This is a video I have been regretting to make, but I did say I would do it. I think I'll just take a big picture of it on my bed after the fact. But it wasn't a tag kind of thing. It was more of a, we discussed it in a chat, and everybody wanted to know, what are your palettes, your collection, that you have not really used? You know, you may have touched them once or twice. So here we go. Your girl's got a lot of palettes that she has regretfully put in the vault, only because they're got a lot of sentimental value. Then I also have some that I have used and touched and, you know, whatnot. So to start off, I'm going to start with the big baba. I've got this Coastal Scents 252 eyeshadow palette. It comes, she's a big girl. She's quite thick, but she's in a nice hard plastic. The shadows are very pigmented and also very crumbly. I won't be swatching all these palettes because it's a lot of palettes. But the first tray is of the greens and blues. And I guess I will have to touch this nice cute turquoise green right here. And then the next one is a variety of pastel, or I don't know what you call this, all shimmeries. I'll touch a yellow and fuchsia. I can't pause, so you can go ahead and make your plate. You know, I made shrimp fried rice. What is that? No. And this beautiful purple comes in this sunset color. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Oops. You can see how pigmented they are. Super pretty. You're like, why don't you use this palette? It is quite overwhelming, honestly, to start trying to figure out what color combinations you want to use. And it was also a gift, Mother's Day gift. So I've been holding on to her. And just put her back neatly so she don't get broken. I like to keep her in the box with the plastic. And I also like to stick them in a baggie with some silicone, which is the same, those little packets you get out of your shoes or out of your, you know what I'm talking about, out of your aspirin, to keep it fresh. The next one is by SpongeBob by Hip Dot. I've only used it once, and that was the try-on video. And she's quite thick too, unusual thick, but these are gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Do a couple of swatches of those. Got Hip Dot is an indie brand. It's quite nice, and I got the whole SpongeBob kit. So it comes with a blush, a bronze, a couple of 3 lips, you know. So it's a little of this, a little of that. Hit you with a whistle ball bat, and I'll put that back in here because we have so many more to go through. Oh my goodness! I have this Pro Magic palette, which is highlights for deep tone. And I've only used this a couple of times, and they are really pigmented. There's really nothing wrong with it at all. So you're like, why do you not want to use it? Because it was one of those ones that are just like so pretty. And it's before I got an Oprah highlight. So it was like, once I got a whole Oprah highlight, I couldn't cheat on Oprah anymore. I also got these little, I love these little kits, and it's from Makeover Essentials. It's a complete little kit. And you can see in the back, it comes like that. I have always been in love with these little kits. It looks like this. It comes with your brushes. It comes with a mascara, eyeliner, a lip liner. It also pops in half with the mirror. And on one side of this, you got your lip palette. Let me close that up. You got your eyeshadows. 2 sets with a little pop of color. And they all lock into place so that they don't come out, except for the liners and stuff would pop out. But the lashes, the makeup doesn't come out. And then it comes with this little clamp lid. You find these, sometimes they walk into the restaurants and they'll offer it to you for like $10, a whole bag of goodies like that. And that's how I ended up with that. I'm a Hot Topic hoe, and I'm a Supernatural lover like there's no other. And so I have both Supernatural palettes. They have 3 they came out with. They just came out with a pastel, and I left that alone, which I may have to go back and get when it gets on sale, because I like to catch when they're on sale. This is the Hunter's Guide one, Monster Guide one. They all came with a little brush, a mirror, and those are your colors. And as you've seen, I've only touched a few because they're so pretty. It says vampires will kill the ones that sparkle for free. It has cute little sayings. Oh, and the names of these shadows: Jefferson Starship. Do you remember that episode where Dean had named the special ghoulish of monsters Jefferson Starships? Then they also have Abaddon. Of course, she's got to be the big red. And then we got Lucifer, Skinwalker, Crawley. So that's that palette. The other one is the Join the Hunt palette, and it has a little metal tin on it. Also with the mirror, also with a very unique brush, and also with some super unique names. Really pretty. It has Baby, that's the car, which is a matte black. And then right next to Baby is Demon Eyes, which is a silver black. And then they got Angel, Grace, and then Witchy, which is a purple. And we're going to just spell it. You know, the B-I to the witch is this burgundy one here. And on the mirror it says, saving people, hunting things, the family business. Oh yeah, and that is what we do. You see, it was supposed to be a black, but it's like a dark, rich purple black, and then a silver black. Oh yeah, super pretty. Next, I've got a ton of palettes out here, but I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to do as many as I, feel comfortable with, because it's kind of embarrassing. I've got my Nomad Berlin Underground palette, which I love this palette. And I've used it a few times, and it still doesn't look like I put a dent in it. But I love this, the whole skulls and the grunge, and it's beautiful. It has 36 shades in here. That's what it said. Oh, there's 15 shades in here. And this is the Berlin Underground / Ipsy collab. And then I have, I pulled out here. Sorry, takes a long time putting them back. I have the Tetris slash Ipsy collab in the green, which was different. I wanted the other one because it had purple in it. But of course, Game Over being that blue, it totally won the show. And I've used just that blue, and as you see the blue in this pink several times because it's just so pretty. I got to get another one of these, and I want to get the other one so that I can have a backup. I love having backups. Okay, and then I have a Violet Voss. I haven't pulled out a lot of the other Violet Vosses that I have, but I do have a lot of Violet Vosses. And this one's so hard to get out of the container. It drives me crazy. But this is the Fruit Sorbet. And yes, I've dug into this bad boy. Look at that. These three colors have been my go-to. This one's just kind of muted, but they're beautiful. And I love them so much, and that's why I kind of preserved that color for a special occasion. And I'm like, yeah, that's the one I'm gonna pop that on my eye, and everybody's gonna go gaga at the party when we get to go back to partying, you know. And then I have my first BoxyCharm palette ever, the Butter London. Mall Butter. And it's very pretty. That turquoise is everything though. And the brown. That's called Temptress. Sexy brown. Let me stick some of these back in their bags, because if I don't, they're just gonna be all over the place. This has got to go in a tall bag. Okay. Then I got from the Vault. This is my very first palette that my grandmother bought me. It is the original leather cased zipped smoked palette. And I showed this palette some serious love. But once I realized it was going to be discontinued and never brought back, I kind of just put it in the vault to preserve it, because my grandma's not here anymore, and she's my best friend, and I love her so much. And I love this palette so much because she didn't have to. It also came with my very first Urban Decay Better Than... it came with the primer, and it also came with the liner. But of course, I've used those up. I used those up and out the dough. Ooh. Okay, I don't want to open this one up. I have this palette from... it says it's a Macy's merchant. I can't remember exactly the merch who it is, but this was one that my goddaughter gave me from her makeup school, and they're so pretty, and I use this as my transition shade colors when I do pull it out, and I do pull it out often, especially when she's with me, because she just loves that color. The colors in there. Oops, dropping stuff. Alright, next I've got my, I was so happy to get this in BoxyCharm. That at first I didn't think I was going to get it, so your girl ran out and bought it, and then I ended up with it in the BoxyCharm. So, and that is the Fenty Moroccan Spice palette. And yes, so I have one that I've not touched and one that I have massacred because, you know, it is so pretty, and the material is just awful to keep clean, but it is such a beautiful palette. A lot of people didn't like it, but I really liked it. And this one is from Sephora, and the other one was from BoxyCharm, and I did a side-by-side comparison. I looked at all the ingredients, I looked in the back, and honestly, it is exactly the same. They're both made in, not PRC, but they're made in Italy. So that was even better. You know, I was like, yeah. Not everything is made in PRC when it comes to BoxyCharm. This was my very first Coastal Scent palette, and it's called the Smoked palette, and it has 36 shades. And I'm going to definitely rock this one for 1 week, one palette. Bring it out the vault, because it has got so many beautiful, beautiful colors. So vivid, too. Whoop. Got to be careful with our little condominiums that come in there. They're there to protect us. Then I have this Shani palette that my uncle brought home from Japan, and I was not mad at it. Number 40. It does not have a mirror, but it does have these beautiful colors. And the only reason why I didn't really dig into it, it was my first palette that I used for Instagram 10 years ago. And I love that he had thought of me when he would go back and forth to the Philippines and bring me something unique that I couldn't find here. Then I have some minis. And I have some minis that I'm not going to pull out because it's just so much to pull out, you guys. But this is a MAC / Patrick Star collab palette. And boy, if you ever needed or wanted some super rich colors, because you know MAC is no joke when it comes to color. And we all know swatches are only going to give us the idea of the color, not the pigment on the eyes. And I've put this on my eyes before, and it is so pretty. Then I pulled this out to bring it out again for you guys to see and for me to play with. And it is the Charmed palette by Sola Looks. And this is, I have dug into this bad boy, and she's gorgeous. Look at that. It's got all the original sisters on there, and all the names are of the original cast. And you can see where I have dug in there. I had to pre-order this when it first came out. The only person who I even seen with it was Mr. Patrick Star. And when he had it, I had to run over there and get it. No, not Patrick Star, I'm sorry. It's the other one. Rich Lux. Rich Lux got it in PR. So I had to go get me one. Okay. Now this one is in the rotation from Suva. And this is the Prestige palette. And this is the one I was talking about that has the 2 highlights on either side. And I have used it, and I do adore these 2 colors together so much. And this one in the crease, so pretty. And this is from my friend Sylvia. Thank you so much, Sylvia. You know I love everything that you sent, and I'm in it like Flint. Okay, so no worries. I'm not letting it sit and die at all. It just takes a while. And that's why I'm doing I'm doing 1 palette 1 week from now on to really, most YouTubers I've learned do not, they're not able to go through everything that they ever get in PR or they purchase. Well, I'm going to make it so that I have touched every palette before I declutter it or, friend mail it out. Because there's no reason for a good palette to go to waste whatsoever. Alright, so I'm pulling some more things. You're like, girl, you got some things. Yes, I got 3 baskets in front of me. And that's still not everything that I own. This is just a few things that I pulled out in the rotation. I got my Flash Dance, also from Sola Looks. This is a beautiful palette. Looks like a VHS cassette. It has a beautiful mirror with Marty and all them on it, and then it has all the colors. And you would be so mistaken. I thought that this would be just a brown. Oh, it's just a brown. I'm going to contour with it. Oh, no. No, no, no. It looks brown on your hand. It looks brown, but it is not a contour shade. That baby went super ruby on my skin tone. And so did Jeannie. She was super ruby, like a red undertone. So that is a beautiful blush. I don't always use my palettes for what they claim they're meant for, because I've learned by watching a whole lot of YouTube tutorials and a whole lot of makeup companies that their formula for their blushes are exactly the same for the eyeshadow. Go have it, right? I won this from Rhonda Says her giveaway, and it's the Pizza Slice Foodie Palette. And she's beautiful with all that shimmery glory. And this is totally my fall palette, but it's in the rotation. I also brought out the Tokyo palette that I got in my iBeauty bag a month or two ago. And I've only done swatches of it. I didn't exactly use but like 3 colors. And it's really pretty. But I'm going to be rocking them for 1 week, 1 palette. Next palette is the Icon from Lorella. Now your girl did this, and I will continue to rock this one. Give it a little bit more of a go. It did not work on my live very well as far as my lighting, but it really, really, really picked up. I have my 90210 palette, which has all these beautiful things in the back. This is also the one that was broken, and they did replace it with a brand new one. So I'm like in like Flint with this one. Oh, and I must show you that it also came with, so this is its outer carton, so it looks like a DVD of the show. It came with a Donna Martin graduation sticker with Dylan and Ian Ziering and Brian Austin Green and Luke Perry. Of course, she had to be in the center, you know. And then we got our girl, Brenda and Luke Perry, and Kelly and Luke Perry. It came with all these little bells and whistles for this palette, which was really fun and cute. It totally took me back to high school, middle school, when the show first came out, and just I love it. And I like to keep everything together, you know. Your girl's got to keep it neat, I couldn't believe it until Miss Jess Gus, because you know that's my girl, reminded me how much I love this Leopardina palette. And I really did love it so much. And so I'm bringing it out to revisit it. As you see, I use the highlights as eyeshadow toppers. And this is from Chic Cosmetics, so got to give that another try. Be a Queen palette that I received in another subscription, lash subscription box. She's very crumbly, but it's got some really pretty colors. And I've been noticing that a lot of the palettes that came out all have the almost similar colors in them, but just a hint of difference. Just a hint of difference. Then I have the original Festival palette from Pure. Love, love, love this palette. Hate the glitters. The shimmers are great, but these 2 glitters right here make me want to put somebody in jail. Want to put me in jail because I just don't like it. I don't like the way it just doesn't work with my eyes. It doesn't work with my skin. My son's favorite palette, the Berry palette from Too Faced. And you see, I haven't given it much of a chance, just these 3 colors pretty much, because I love the way it smells, and it smells just like my baby. I'm telling you, my 6-year-old smells like berries, and he loves him some raspberries. I also pulled out my single collection that I use more on the regular. These are a mix of Oprah and Zuba Beauty. I have some Ruby Ray loose pigments, loose shadows, and some other Ruby Ray loose ones. And they came like this in their little tins. But I'm going to reorganize all that, don't worry. This palette, no photos, please. I can't with this palette. I love it. The packaging is everything right there. It comes with the little condominium with all the names on it. Comes with a little sponge. And it is super glittery, smoky. Not glittery, but shimmery, smoky. Perfect toppers for any neutral look, which I will do 1 week, 1 palette. Not gonna lie. Let's see here. A few more to go. Let's go with a little one. My CoverGirl palette when I wanted to be a CoverGirl. I'm still putting them out there. CoverGirl, do you hear me? Make me your CoverGirl, because this palette is everything. It is the perfect dupe palette for some of the Jeffree Star colors that it came out that year. Then I got my Wee Queen palette. That's in rotation because I love this palette. And I'm really sad that it, it may not last its lifespan because I'm digging in it. And it's so pretty. This purple and this gold are my favorite combo. As you see, I got purples and gold on my eyes right now. Favorite color combination. And super buttery. Fix that little condominium in there. Put it back in the box. Okay, and then I've got some Huda everywhere. Who doesn't have some Huda from Ipsy? I've got the warm brown obsession, and you can tell where I've gotten my dips in there. I've got the topaz obsession. This is my newer one that I have not yet got to touch. I've got the mauve obsession, which is my first one that I love so much. And I've got the amethyst obsession. Super pretty. You know I love it. You know I love it. And then I haven't touched them yet, but I'm working on them. These blush palettes that I got in one of my beauty boxes. And I would like these not as blushes, but I like them as eyeshadows. Thank you. See, they're very neutral and they're very light and buildable, so they work really well for me if I'm going to do a light eyeshadow. And the last palette in this bundle, because I'll probably do a part 2, because this is just the first part, is the Steve Laurent little palette that we got in a glossy box or a Laura Beauty. And this is also my added along with the other one. I feel is a great neutral dupe to have you some nice shimmers, grays, and silvers. Because, I mean, who needs that many silvers or grays? Especially when it all looks like the same color on your skin tone. That is it, my lovelies. That is it for this half of my eyeshadow collection that I have not exactly put a dent in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed a few of the swatch parties. Be good to each other. And come back and see me again sometime. And if you're new, welcome to the Hive. I'm glad to have you. My name is Jovina. Joe to my friends and to you. And and I love makeup, and I love you all, and I love unboxings. And sometimes I like to make you laugh. And sometimes my kids like to make a lot of noise with the ice maker. But other than that, I guarantee you a good time. So until then, be good to each other. I appreciate you. And if you're a regular, how you doing? How your mama doing? How your kids doing? All of that is important to me. So let me know in the comments. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.